This seat has been held by a Hunter for over 30 years. I don't think anybody believes that Duncan Hunter will survive this last election that he's getting involved in, but I think they're going to choose a different candidate.
Well, the 50th is traditionally a safe Republican seat, and no Democrat should really have a chance to win it. But last cycle, Campa-Najjar, the Democrat nominee, came awfully close because of Duncan Hunter's criminal indictment.
Yeah, I remember election day. The night after, I slept like a baby. I woke up every 2 hours, I cried, I went back to bed, and I did that a couple times. It was a hard pill to swallow. Hunter, he fought for our country, and I respect his service. It's hard for me to say that. I don't think he made it back from the battlefield. I think he got chewed up and spat out in Washington, and he lost his way. No one's perfect. He lost his way.
Congressman, are you planning to resign?
Good morning, guys.
There's been a reaction this morning. Can you finish your term, sir?
Are you planning to resign, sir?
Are you planning on resigning? Are you stepping down?
You said in the past you did nothing wrong. Why change your plea now?
Congressman, don't you think Congress
Are
deserves
you
to
looking
answer
for a
this
pardon
question?
from President Trump? Will you be seeking a pardon?
Go get him, Jay. Go high.
Are you planning to resign, sir? Anything to say to the people of the 50th?
Channel 51, fill it up. Okay, you got it. There's an interview on KUSI. Check it out.
I'm Sam Hodson, a journalist for the San Diego Union-Tribune. I grew up in Escondido, California, right in the heart of what is now known as the 50th Congressional District. When I tell people I'm from San Diego County, they think of the palm trees and the beaches and the Teslas and the liberals, and they're not wrong. But they're also not getting a full picture of what California is. This is a story about a side of California you don't always see. It starts in San Diego's rural backcountry, in a congressional district that for generations has been represented by one family. In 1981, voters sent Duncan Lee Hunter to the House of Representatives. The attorney and Vietnam veteran unseated an 18-year incumbent and quickly rose to prominence in Congress. In his first term, he muscled his way onto the powerful House Armed Services Committee, and in 2002, as the Bush administration began to build its case for the invasion of Iraq, Hunter became the committee's chairman. Back home, voters saw their congressman as a fighter and a tireless advocate for veterans and San Diego's defense community. In 2006, he announced that he would run for president and wouldn't seek re-election to the House. Waiting in the wings was his son and namesake, Duncan Dwayne Hunter. A Marine Corps veteran who joined the military in the wake of the September 11th attacks, the young Hunter rode easily into office. The freshman congressman hit all the right notes for the conservative stronghold he represented. He railed against illegal immigration and championed America's military might. The pairing of his politics and his colorful style later led voters to describe him as Trump before Trump.
So, this is called a vaporizer.
The tide began to turn against Hunter in 2016 when the Federal Election Commission began questioning his use of campaign funds. In an indictment unsealed in 2018, prosecutors claimed that Hunter and his wife used $250,000 of campaign cash to pay for personal expenses. As the sordid details of the case trickled out, Hunter's power and influence began to wane, and House Republicans stripped him of his committee assignments. But just months after his indictment, Hunter was reelected to Congress in his closest race yet, against a Democrat, Campa-Najjar. It seemed the Hunter name was untouchable. In 2019, his case became more perilous. Prosecutors alleged that his campaign money had been used not only to pay for family expenses, but also to finance affairs with lobbyists and Hill staffers. As that news broke, his wife was cooperating with government prosecutors, leading her to plead guilty to one charge of conspiring with her husband and agreeing to testify against him. Hunter was defiant. Not only did he decry the charges as a partisan witch hunt, fueled by Democratic political operatives and the fake news media, but he was steadfast that he would seek re-election and that he would win. But then, this happened.
As most folks know, my trial was set for January 22nd. That's not going to happen now. Tomorrow on Tuesday, I'm going to change my plea to guilty. I think it's important not to have a public trial for 3 reasons, and those 3 reasons are my kids.
Hunter's surprise announcement turned the race for the 50th inside out and put this sliver of California's countryside back into the national spotlight. What follows are my efforts to understand this race, this legal saga, and this district. In the process, I'm going to take you into the cars, homes, and minds of the candidates running for the 50th and the voters who can send them into office. And we'll learn together about how my colleagues in the newsroom dutifully broke and unraveled this story. By the time you're done with this series, you will have met a whole cast of characters that make this one of the most interesting congressional races in America. But before we get to the candidates, I want to introduce you to the most important character of all, the district itself.
People describe the 50th as a place that really has, for lack of a better phrase, the sense of place. Like, people are really proud to be from there, and they take a lot of pride in their community. And I think part of the reason that, Duncan's support has persisted and it's kind of lost in the shuffle a lot of times is that people there know him, and they, know that at the end of the day, he's one of their own, and I think that goes a long way.
Last election proved just how powerful that name is and was. Was and is, I guess, it's clear, it means something to be a hunter, let alone a Duncan Hunter, in a district that's been the representative more or less for, 40 years at this point.
When people across the country look at California, normal voters, they see a sea of blue, right? They see Berkeley, they see San Francisco, they see a San Francisco liberal as our governor, they see legalized pot, they see people taking away your guns, and it looks like one homogeneous democratic state. But in fact, from California, we realize that it's not, right? That there are islands of red and regions of red within this state, and this district shows that, right? This is a district that resembles in its politics something more like an area of Texas.
My name is Steve Tellum, and I am a 4th-generation cattle rancher in San Diego County. Duncan Hunter Sr. was congressman here for many years. His son, Duncan Jr., came in after him, and Senior has been a family friend for a lot of years. He's strong military, strong conservative, a good American. I know this district has basically, I don't know if it's had other than a conservative congressman. If it's been somebody else, it's darn sure been a long, long time.
It's been a long time, indeed. And since the elder Hunter wrestled control of the seat from a Democrat nearly 40 years ago, a lot has changed in this district. To start with, when the younger Hunter was elected to the seat, it wasn't called the 50th. It was called the 52nd. That changed during redistricting in 2013, and the district grew, gobbling up large parts of North San Diego County and stretching the territory into Riverside. It's one of only 7 congressional seats in California occupied by a Republican. Since losing some tight elections in Southern California last year, not one piece of the state's coastline is represented by a conservative. but the 50th is reliably to the right. Voter registration data puts the district at 39.1% Republican, 27.7% Democrat, and 26.4% declaring no party preference. But a lot of those declining a party line are clearly right-leaning. In 2016, President Trump won the seat by 15 points. And over the years, Hunter has clobbered other opponents, capturing figures like 68% of the vote, 71%, 64%, until last cycle. And this is why Republican challengers said they were stepping in to protect the seat. Hunter's 2018 Democratic challenger, Campa-Najjar, came within spitting distance, 48.3% to 51.7%. With all that said, the 50th isn't just voting data. It's 750,000 residents spread across 2,787 square miles that stretches across San Diego and into Riverside County. And to get a full sense of how this place is changing, you have to look beyond the numbers and speak with folks like Dilquaz Ahmed, an Iraqi refugee and activist who helped me understand how the district changed since she moved here nearly 20 years ago.
Could you just describe the 50th Congressional District for me a little bit?
It is, I think, it's in El Cajon, Santee, Lakeside. What else?
But what is the 50th District about? Not what is it geographically like. What is sort of the heart and soul of the 50th District? I mean, I know it's a lot of different things. What is it to you?
When I look at it not geographically. It is refugees and immigrants are growing in this district, and we should not ignore the fact that their voices matter, and we should include them in the decision makers, and we should bring them to represent us also. This is what I look. The kids of those refugee and immigrant, they gonna come with better vision than us. Like the vision my daughter and my son has. It's much better than me because they went to elementary school all the way to high school and the college and the university, and they have an opportunity more than I had. So those kids are learning about a lot of things, and if it's not for this generation, their kids, that the second generation, they will be running this district.
And so you've probably always had Duncan Hunter as your congressional representative, is that correct?
For a long time.
Have you ever felt like your interests are being represented in Washington, D.C.?
In terms of immigration, and maybe if I say that, it will be so funny when I say that, Duncan Hunter helped a lot of our clients and the community with immigration. And when they struggle with immigration issues, Duncan Hunter write them letter and they get the answer right away. So in that area, I have to give them credit for that. They help the community with immigration issues a lot.
Wow, that's not what I expected you to say.
That's the reality. Yeah, they help, and what I like to see is the answer for what happened with Duncan Hunter. I need an answer because he's in a process dealing with some issues with money, and I want to see an answer. I want to see that because I don't want to see somebody representing me with, I cannot trust him.
With Hunter's surprise announcement that he would be pleading guilty, resigning his seat, and getting out of the race, Ahmed had her answer about Hunter's legal problems. But a lot of questions remain about the political future of the district. And to truly understand this race, I need you to take a step back in time with me. Back to a time when Hunter was still running for this seat.
Hey, I am your congressman, and this is great to see so much interest in East County for the first time ever. Because where most of these guys are from, they don't know where East County is.
And a slate of Republicans were offering themselves up as the candidates who could replace him. That's up next on the 50th.
We used to be such a wonderful state, and this is what they have done to us.
Cool. People really appreciate their elected official coming out to places like this and seeing what's going on, because they, I think, generally have a perception that politicians don't care.
Yeah, we've got there's rumors that Darrell Issa would come in. I like Darrell; he's a nice guy, but I'm resentful of the concept of him giving his seat away and not fighting for that seat, and then moving down here so far from where he lives. But I mean, it's legal, but I don't think it's ethical.